This video was a patron's pick. Every month, my patrons get a chance to vote in a video that they would like to see happen. Head on over to my Patreon right now at any tier to vote once a month. Kaiju, turtles, Dragon Ball, and more. It's Steven's Toy Reviews. Hey there, Collector Steven here, and welcome to another Playmates review. Today we're going to be taking a look at the Playmates Shin Godzilla. I'm going to affectionately call this version 2, because they're not using the remold that they used from NECA's figure way back when they first entered into the kaiju market. Today they have introduced a brand new sculpt for Shin Godzilla, and it's not much better. It's new, but it's not much better. It's better. It's hot and it's ready, but is it good? That's the question. Let's take a look to see whether or not the new Shinny Boy is going to be worth adding into your collection. And JFC, at this point, I could build a house out of Shin Godzilla stuff. I mean, it's not even my favorite design. Why do I keep buying this?
Because Hideaki Anno is God, that's why.
Not really. Anno's kind of overrated. So, new sculpt from the ground up. I will commend them for this because Shin has a few notable poses when you take a look at some of the promotional material, when you take a look at some of the references, when you so on and so forth. And I do think that this actually does nail that overall design. It reminds me of the statue that they have erected, Giggity, in Japan of Shin. They did a movie monster series of it. I can't remember the name. It's like someone's going to post in the comments acting like they know better than I do about everything as usual. But this does remind me of that. So I could see a paint variant of that happening maybe sometime down the line. Don't know, don't really care. Won't be picking it up. But the point being is that this does pay better tribute to the actual source material than the previously released figure. And therein what that figure was based off of. Gonna jab at NECA whenever I can. Now, paint. What do we have? Sculpt. What do we have? Is it good? Like I kind of said at the top, not really. Honestly, I understand that the price point, it's going to be about 13 bucks. It's going to be on the shelves of Target, possibly going to be on the shelves of Walmart. It'll probably pop up on Amazon. I mean, you can get it for cheap. But, here you say, that was cheap, that was cheap, that was cheap. Rodan was awesome. Gorosaurus was awesome. Those were brand new sculpts from the ground up. Playmates already had a lead in for Shin Godzilla with their original release, which they did borrow aspects of the NECA sculpt. They pretty much used the mold entirely and they changed things. So this way it was effectively, quote unquote, a vinyl figure. But yeah, I mean, when all is said and done, this is fine for the price point, but it isn't necessarily really, really good. If you need a Shin Godzilla to put on your shelf because you can't afford the movie monster series, because that one seems to be ticking up in price, you can't find the original Playmate Shin. And quite frankly, I don't blame you if you can't. You do have this as an alternative. Now, with that being said, I am going to harp on this. I'm going to hone in on it really, really good. The tail is not having that extra face, that extra head. Not there at all. And I already know there's going to be someone in the comments saying, Steven, he didn't get, no. If you take a look at the actual CGI file for the third form in the art book, you will see that the second face begins to develop on the tail at that point. It's not after a certain time after the fourth form. It's already there to begin with. I've been dealing with this for 6 years since Shin Godzilla came out, since I've commented on stuff not having it, and by God, I am taking this one. I don't care how much I'm going on and artificially extending the length of this video. I'm gonna die on that hill. And articulation. Here's the interesting thing. They posed his legs in such a way, if you move him, he kind of goes off balance and he falls over. So he basically shouldn't move. Tail's on a ball joint, which I found pretty interesting. That can actually move safely with no real issues. So, it's something that you can have. Size comparison, 6-inch scale figure. Not a whole lot going on here. Not a whole lot to write home about. He is looking up, so that's a bit more menacing, and it is artificially going to extend his height, but it'll blend in just fine with your Godzillas. And side by side with the version 1. That's one big pile of crap on the screen right there right now. Okay, so buy now, skip, or wait for a deal. Okay, so obviously, comically, I'm a little bit overboard. Is this worth the purchase? It's not bad. Honestly, if you are an adult collector, then just look back at the catalog of Shin Godzilla stuff that's been released since 2016. You have plenty of options. You don't need this. Go get something else, okay? It's 13 bucks. what the intention here for this one is for, mom and dad to get little Timmy, when he's stomping and throwing a fit and he's pooping you can just go ahead and grab this, throw it in the cart, take it to checkout, bada bing, bada boom, you're done. But with that being said, having been a kid, because, Godzilla came out in 1954, surprise, surprise, I had Godzilla stuff growing up from pretty much when I was a kid. And this is not something that I really would have liked to have after having Rodan and Gorosaurus. This is like Jet Jaguar. Good job in doing it. You did something cool, but you didn't do a really good job of doing that. And you've shown that you can do a good job. So I am going to punish you because you didn't do a good job on something you could have done a good job with, especially when you kind of sang the second verse the same as the first. Hope it makes sense.
Well, collectors, that brings us to the end of the video today, and I just wanted to take a second to thank you so much for watching. Now, you've heard a lot from me. I'd like to hear a little bit from you. Drop in the comments down below whether or not you liked it, you hated it, or maybe you were somewhere in between. I also want to take an extra second here for a nice, humongous thank you to all the patrons for SDR over the last month who have really helped the channel grow into what it can be today. So to all of you, 2 big thumbs up. Thank you very much. And now the end card should be popping up, which will give you a few clickable links, like maybe to subscribe or head on over to my Patreon, or some short URLs like to my social media or to my Teespring store. There's also a video I hand selected for you, so if you want to watch another STR video, I hand selected some good content for you to watch, so definitely check out that video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll catch ya in the next video.